A lot of Illinois roll talk today. Benham Rickhouse was discussed from Brad Underwood. We have a video talking about the comments on how they plan to use him in some booty ball action this year. Brad also spoke on the vision for Keaton Wagler, freshman sensation, the guy that got the most hype leading into this season for Illinois, has certainly been Wagler in the backcourt, a guy who has gone from, a freshman people were excited about to oh my goodness, he's probably a starter to Io DeSumo, Kasparis Yakachonis comps. Anyways, future's bright for Wagler. We know this, but this is what Brad Underwood had to say after his debut in the Illinois exhibition on what their vision is for Wagler's role this year.
That's a role we're going to play him a lot in. I think the option is that we can be very similar to what we had last year with Kasparis and Bam. Keaton's very comfortable on the ball. Again, it becomes a matchup based attack. We can attack it. I think with Mihailo, in there obviously it's still the same thing. Mihailo's very different because of his speed and maybe lack of size, and I say that compared to the other two, but Mihailo's very fast, and we can play small if we need to. We can play bigger if we need to. So it just gives us a different option. But we've spent a ton of time with Keaton on the ball, really since he got on campus because Mahailo's never been here.
All right, there you have it. That is obviously Brad talking about Keaton Wagler at point guard on the ball. The quote that started it off, we're going to spend a lot of time playing him there this year. We've spent a lot of time working on that. Is Keaton Wagler at point guard. The comp there that you heard was it can look a lot like last year with Kasparis and Kylan. Presumably that is implying that Keaton would be the Kasparis role in the pairing, and Kylan would remain Kylan, kind of a combo guard that helps with point guard duties. But this is the role that had been pitched coming into the exhibition game. I certainly don't feel like we saw that play out in the exhibition game. Keaton wasn't as involved on the ball as I expected based on some things that have been said. But do you like this vision based on what you've seen so far from Keaton Wagler? Should they be working him in at point guard a lot this season?
So we just did a video on Henrik House's role where I said I just want Mirkovic on the court for 40 minutes or an ejection, like one of the two. And then Henrik House can come in after that. I think I'd prefer Petrovic is just on the court for 40 minutes. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Keaton Wagler. There's other ways Keaton Wagler can fit into this offense, other than like taking the ball out of who I believe is your best player's hands and taking your best player off off the court. From time to time, I think a lot is the portion of the quote that like kind of gets to me where it's like, why would Petrovic not just play a lot at the point guard role type of thing? Like, why would he not just have the ball in his hands a lot? I have no issue with Keaton Wagler being floated in and out of there. Obviously, like there's some satire with my 40 minutes a game thing. Like he's going to have to come out the game. But I just think a lot is like where it kind of loses me. I also respectfully to Keaton Wagler, boy, is this a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
Uh, and the quotes, like, we're, if all these quotes about him are true, we're talking one and done. And I'm not saying Keaton Wagler can't be a one and done, because if the returns are as good as the expectations, he is a one and done. But man, is this a lot of pressure on a guy you don't really need to put the pressure on? It's not like a
Right.
Darren Peterson situation where your second best player is Trey White. Um, you have Kylan Boswell, you have Petrovic, you have Andrei Stojakovic, you have both Ivisic brothers. Maybe there's a third one I don't even know about on the roster. And then you have Mirkovic and you got Humrizzi. This team is really good. You don't need to put all this pressure on the freshmen that like I think 2 months ago a lot of us didn't even expect to play that much.
I love that point. I think you're right. It's one of those things where it would make more sense if it was like a team ravaged of talent and this guy had to play a bigger role. Like, let's talk about it. Which is why it's been hard because the only interpretation that made sense of all the Keaton smoke in the last month had been that he really was this good. Like it had become so overwhelmingly loudly, this guy's like the best player on the roster. That must be why everyone is talking about him that way on a team with this much talent. Dion, you okay? You look a little sweaty.
So every August, September, my air conditioning breaks, and there's just nothing I can do about it.
Dude, that's tough. Out in California too? Like, I mean, what is it, like 80 degrees still there today?
Today's gonna be like 85, 90, but like peak summer, it gets like 110. My AC just doesn't ever hold up.
I mean, it sounds like it's a bummer that you can't take advantage of Duncan Mechanical Solutions because Duncan Mechanical Solutions is an HVAC company based in Angola, servicing the tri-state area, bringing commercial quality to the residential world with excellent customer service. You heard us talk about Duncan Mechanical last summer. If you need heating or air conditioning, kitchen or bath remodeling, or all of the above, Duncan Mechanical is the place to go in the Midwest. Go to DuncanMechanicalSolutions.com to take advantage and make sure you don't wind up like Dion. It didn't look that way in the exhibition. Now, again, that's not to say that Keaton wasn't good. If you drop all of these expectations, I think it was a great debut. But under the expectations that have been placed upon him from Underwood, from Illinois media, from fans, from everyone, it was a wildly underwhelming and not even like production or eye test. He wasn't even involved in the role that Brad keeps doubling down on. Like, oh, it gives us basically what Kasparis and Kylan was last year. Keaton Wagler did not do anything in the half court that Kasparis did last year. They didn't even try to run those actions in this game. So I just don't see it. Like he was like a comfortable off ball guy in the exhibition, which is what he should be. He should be like a nice luxury shot maker guy that we're not putting be our star point guard expectations on. And we just haven't have flat out have not seen anything to indicate that he would be a good point guard in the Big Ten this year. Now we've only seen him for one exhibition. Maybe it's been shown in practice that it looks different. Maybe he was tentative, nervous, whatever. Here's what I would say. I think I'm starting to have a theory on why this has become the role pitch for Keaton. He said it at the very end. I wish I could run the clip back. He basically was like, but again, Petro hasn't been here. If we're really talking about availability, Stojakovic hasn't played in a month. Petrovic hasn't played in a month. Big T's been out 3 weeks. This team in practice right now is running out the guys you saw in the exhibition, which are Kylan, Keaton, Humrickhouse, Merkovich, Big Z, Brandon Lee. Who's next? Did I miss anybody? Jason Jaxtis. They're running guys that just won't even be like in roles that they're going to be in the season. And I think the reality is if you're trying to split up teams evenly right now without Stojakovic, without Petrovic, you're running Wagler on one side, you're running Boswell on the other. He probably has gotten a bazillion point guard reps this summer. And respectfully, if he's going with Kylan, I'd be surprised if he's destroying Kylan. But respectfully, if Keaton Wagler's going up against Brandon Lee, he might be busting his ass. And it might make you think this guy's a one and done because he's beating Brandon Lee in practice because your best players aren't available. Yeah. So I think that's where we're at. I think it's flipped entirely. Like we can't even envision Petrovic as our starting point guard because what if he's not eligible? We haven't seen it. The moment he's eligible, I think this all flips and we just push Keaton back in like the nice, comfortable role for him. I hope that happens because I think it's very unfair based on what we saw in the exhibition to be like, you know what? Kylan's our shooting guard. Keaton's our point guard this year. Kylan's a good point guard also. Like, wouldn't it even be better if you just said Kylan's the point guard and Keaton is the off ball too?
I mean, yeah. I've also I hate to keep going back to it, but Mirkovic might be my guy this year. Can't you just run Kylan, Andre, Mirkovic, and both the Visich brothers and have plenty of floor spacing, plenty of ball handling, plenty of passing? Maybe not the most defense. I don't know what lineup Illinois has that has a ton of defense, to be fair. But like, can't you just run that lineup? There's so many different combinations Illinois can play that doesn't have Keaton Wagler at point guard.
You're right. But at the same time, that lineup you just said has two guys that aren't available right now.
Very true.
So that has to be what they're going through. They have no idea. How can you even determine roles when nobody's at practice?
So Petro has no idea if he's playing basketball yet?
He's not eligible by the NCAA yet.
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Petro, listen, I love Brad Underwood. Enemy number one. So you made me fly all the way out here, and we have no idea if I'm hooping.
I mean, this happened to Tomislav last year. He was cleared like Halloween, I want to say. So I'm sure like we'll be trick or treating and the notification will come in that Mihailo Petrovic is available to play. And then suddenly the Keaton Wagler's our star point guard thing will be dropped immediately and Andre Curbelo will be back. I love this team, man. Don't you love this team? They're so fun to cover.
I'm so addicted to Illinois. Like I'm truly, you said it. I'm year one, you and Cart from a couple years ago. Like I can't get away from this team. I just want everything Illinois.
It's so fun.